Hi, this is Cynthia with Prophetic Flow, and I am here on uh, Interpretation Part 2. Here we are, we're talking about knowledge is power. And so here are a few things that I would like to talk about. I would like to talk about a few books. Now, it is impossible to know every symbol there is in the universe and what things mean. So here we are. Robert Moss. Robert Moss is like the granddaddy of um, dreams. He has this book called The Secret History of Dreams. And Robert Moss has a very good angle at how he comes at the dreams. He comes like a professor of knowledge. He understands dreams, and he goes to all different kinds of countries and find out the culture and what they dream about. And so this one he talks about the Aborigines and what they believe dreams are. Some cultures believe that you literally come into the world through dreams and then you leave the world through dreams. I thought that was very romantic and good to know how other people think about dreams. He also has another book called The Conscious Dreaming, and here's another one called The Three Only Things. Robert Moss. And one thing about Robert, he like I said, has a very odd twist to his way of looking at things. A lot of it is very intellectual, like the first book, but this one is about there are no coincidences and there are no accidents. And I truly believe that. Then here it is. You see this? The Bible. You know, this is a reference because Joseph is in there and Daniel and a lot of other prophets who had the ability to interpret. And it's good to know that there is a biblical history to dreaming. A lot of times the church has literally uh, not accepted and cast dreaming out. But even in the Bible, it says, your old men shall dream dreams. So dreaming dreams was a part of the culture at hand. And here's another one. I almost say this one is my husband because this book sleeps in between my husband and I. And Pamela Bell made this book, and it is Dreams and Dreaming, the complete book of Dreams and Dreaming. And this is more of a dictionary, and it talks about uh, all the symbols and what they mean. But of course, none of these interpret dreams. They can only do the understanding dreaming and the understanding symbols. But like I said in the previous one, water can mean three or four different things and for different people. So you have to know that you cannot depend on symbols to interpret a dream because it's very dry, non-personal, and technical, robotic. But to interpret a person's dream is to interpret the whole person and where the idea of the dream is coming from. And like I said, knowledge is power. So here's another deal. If you are coming from the angle that you want this to be a religious type of thing, that's fine and dandy as long as the people that you are interpreting are from the same faith as you. But like I am on the internet, I'm on the web, World Wide Web. So there are many people from different countries that I communicate with, and also many different faiths and many different walks of people. So whenever you go into a bookstore, you probably will not find any of these books in the religious section, but you will find it in the spiritual, quote, new age section, because at least some part of our society and the world has not forgotten that dreams are a part of our lives, our everyday lives. You can't even go through life without dreaming. And if you think you haven't dreamt a dream, you just forgotten about the dream. And so sometimes there takes discipline to learn how to stop when you wake up and not hit the ground running, but stop and rethink about what you dreamt about the night before, or what did you dream about before your eyes open, and think on those things and relax and see what they meant. I had a dream where I was um, in a house, actually my house now, but I have a two-story house. Up here is a story, and down here, and my kitchen is over this way, and that's it. It goes around in a circle and up at the top. But now in this dream, the top floor extended over, and there was another stairwell down, and it opened up a whole nother wing of bedrooms and bathrooms and even a kitchenette. And when I woke up, I understood what it meant. It meant that in my heart, I am a very hospitable person. Not bragging, but I'm just saying I have the gift of hospitality. I like to invite people over, and I would like to have space for them to be able to live comfortably in my house. Well, that's the way I am spiritually. I would like to invite people over to be able to be a part of my life spiritually. And so my house has many rooms, many a mansion. If I had, like Jesus said, and I would not have told you. So there's multifaceted uh, places within me that God is going to use me for to help other people. So I thought that was a very good dream. Now, you could have looked at that as, oh, that means God's going to allow you to build a wing on to your house. It could be, but with my personality and who I am, and I knew that that meant something else, more of a spiritual thing, because the house represents your soul, really, and the top of the house represents your spirituality, and the bottom of it represents your soul. So there's a whole lot of things with um, the house that you can interpret as. But know this, that while you are learning to be a dream interpreter, you have to practice. You have to start writing your dreams down, doing a dream journal, and listen for other people who say they have dreams. Remember it, write it down, and look up the symbols and see if it makes sense. And sometimes you can literally find out what the person's fears are or their love of life is because of their dreams. So this is Cynthia with Prophetic Flow. I will come back to you again with part 3 of Interpreting Dreams. Thank you for flowing with me.